Hey guys, I wanted to come on and talk to you, really have a deep conversation with you and explain to you, I've titled this video, How to Go from Pain to Power. And that's kind of like what I represent, is going from being in so much pain and hurt to feeling empowered, feeling like there's hope in your life. So if you're here, let me know that you're here. I'm actually gonna go ahead and share this in a couple places. But I just got off a call with somebody today, and it was the epitome, I think that's the word, of why I do what I do. And it was somebody that had been through a lot in their life and was feeling lost and feeling hurt, but not realizing that all of that was coming out in a way, we'll just say that. I don't want to go into too much detail. But for right now, I want to talk to you guys about the steps that it takes to go from pain to power. And I'm just trying to get here and sharing this. Because there's a process that happens in order for you to get there. And I know, I'm an intuitive. If you guys don't know me, I know I'm on my page, which I really don't go live in that much. So if you're here, join my Turning Pain into Power for Spiritual Ladies. In my group. So anyway, so there's a process that you have to go through. And if you follow me on YouTube, I'm an intuitive Reiki master and a spirit empowerment coach. And I help women heal from toxic relationships to really gain their strength back, to have hope for the future. And, if you watch me on YouTube, I deal with a lot of people. I have a lot of comments that they are so distraught and so much pain. And that pain feels like literally numbness. It is like, I remember being at this place. I have gone through a divorce about 3 years ago, and from a narcissistic marriage, emotionally abusive, and I've gotten myself to a place of feeling empowered and helping others do the same. So if you're here, hey Jennifer, if you're here, let me know in the comments, and if you're catching the replay, give me a #replay. But we all turn to this healing. In the spiritual world, when you have your spiritual awakening, I feel as though it's easy to dabble in these healings, right? You find a healing here, you find a healing there, and you think that it's going to help you. And it does help you in the beginning. It does help. But what I'm seeing constantly here, hey Kim, hey Fran, hey Fran, you're a top fan, I love it. What I see constantly here is that we don't go all in. Oh, I've been wanting to make this video. Now they're coming through here. When you set the intention and when you make the decision to go all in, there's the reason why it doesn't work when you don't go all in is because the universe doesn't know really what you're doing. And I made that video in the group yesterday. But when you set that intention and you dive in 100% focused on you, focused on your healing, focused on your vibration, focused on shifting your energy, the universe is going to respond to that. And the universe is going to put things in your path. I just finished the mid-month, so some of this is coming from some of those readings too. They inspire me. But universe is going to guide you. But you have to make the decision that you're worth it. And I've been struggling with this thing about why we don't want to heal, right? When I put something out there and I'm like, why are people scared to heal? And it's like, it's heartbreaking to me because I know what's on the other side. And I think, like, I've been talking and having this conversation with a lot of people. And I think what it is that there's a couple of reasons. I feel, and I'm going to get into this process. I'm sorry. Spirit takes over. But, one of the reasons I think is that we can't understand what the other side of the healing looks like. And I think that that's a huge thing, because I remember when I was in that place of numbness, when I was in the place where I didn't even want to live anymore, and I was really just living for my children and not enjoying any of it. And when I was in that place, I didn't really understand. I couldn't really put it into words or even kind of imagine the feeling of what it would be like on the other side if I was ever really happy. Right? What does happy mean? We have this picture in our mind, but at the same time, we can't really comprehend it on an energy basis. So I think that's one of the things. And then the other reason why I think people don't really dive into their healing is because they feel as though they're not worth it. They don't think that they have, and I say that in a very abstract type of way, because we feel as though we take care of everybody else, that we don't have time for us, or that we shouldn't focus on us. And I want to kind of break that cycle right here, right now, because that is the one thing that you should be focused on, is focusing on you and your vibration. Because the one thing that I have learned in the last 3 years of doing all of this is that when you raise your vibration, the people around you will raise theirs. And as you learn how to spiritually live your life, the people around you will learn too. As much as I talk to my daughter, I don't think she's ever listening, but then she comes up with these things of all these sayings, and I was like, where did you get that from? And she's like, I created them. And I was like, she's like, I learned it from you, mommy. And I was like, oh my God, she's listening. She's listening to what I'm saying. So many times we think that it's not important to focus on us and to focus on our healing and our journey and raising our vibration and shifting our energy and eliminating our eliminating thoughts that don't serve us. And it's really, really important to understand that if you're trying to take care of everybody around you, you have to take care of yourself first, because then you are taking care of everybody around you. If you are not present, if you feel like you want to commit suicide, if you feel depressed, if you feel numbness, how is everybody around you getting the best of you? They're not. They're not getting the best of you. So I guess I was meant to bring that through. And then the other thing that that happens here is that I know, like, we jump, right? The world that we're in right now with the technology that we have, I love it. Obviously, I use it, but we're so quick to move on to the next thing. So quick to just keep going, keep going, keep going. And really kind of drowning our brain in this knowledge. And in order for us to go from pain to power, we have to sit still sometimes. We have to take what we learned and use it. And with this from pain to power, there's a process. It is the first step to change your life here is awareness. I always say awareness is key. So when you have the awareness, when you realize what you're doing, when you realize how you're feeling, when you realize, like, holy crap, that just triggered me. Now, what did it trigger inside of me? And then you start to ask yourself questions. A lot of the times, if you're watching this video and you've been healing, because I hear this, I've been healing for years, and we never stop healing. But if you have been healing, but feel like you're not getting anywhere, or that you feel like you should get there quicker, it's because you don't have the process to go through the healing, right? If you take a chakra healing and an archangel, all the Divine Empress Club, which is great, and it does help. But if you're still feeling that way, of this numbness, of this lostness, I'm creating my own language, it is because you haven't gone through the process. The first step in healing is the awareness, right? This is the journey that I've been on. This is what I'm teaching you right now, is awareness. You have to realize what is really going on rather than being in the feelings, okay? So if someone says something nasty to you, you have to step outside of yourself, okay? And I'm not going to go into this because this is what I do in my mentorship, but it's being the awareness. So when you have the awareness of what is really going on below the surface of you and the person that you're dealing with, or the situation that you're in, then you can start to look at it differently. And then you start to have to dive into some other things. So the next thing that you have to do is you have to realize, well, what limited beliefs are coming up for me in relation to what I'm dealing with right now, right? And I went through this story a bunch of times when my ex brought his girlfriend to my house with my kids, like 3 weeks after we were separated. That hit me hard. And I had to start asking myself a lot of questions of why do I feel this way? Why do I feel this way? And I got to the limited belief that was surrounding that issue of what was triggering me. The next step in the process is that you have to reprogram your limited belief. So whatever limited belief that came up for me, you then have to start reprogramming it. You have to tell yourself different stories. And there's a whole way that we do this. But you have to reprogram what you already believe. And then what happens is then you got to kind of sit in it. You got to sit in it, and you got to energy heal, and you got to release the energy around it. You got to change the stories, and a lot of stuff will come up for you when you're doing this. But you've got to kind of sit in it rather than distract yourself, and that's the self-sabotage challenge that we did in here. So you've got to sit in it, and that is uncomfortable as anything. I was going to use a curse word, but I'm trying not to. It is uncomfortable, and a lot of people lose it right there. They will run, they will distract, they will get into a relationship because everything's coming up for them. So at this point, you really have to self-care. You have to give yourself love. You have to, cherish yourself and get yourself in this high vibration while you're healing. All right. And I think that's another reason why a lot of people don't heal is they think it's all going to come up and they're just going to be depressed as anything. But it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. But you have to know when to do things, right? It's the process. So when all of this is coming up, what do you have to do? You have to be easy on yourself. You have to be nice to yourself. You have to cherish yourself. And then once you're feeling better, we dive back into it. And we go into letting go of the judgment of yourself and others, letting go of not feeling good enough, like all of these things that are sitting in your energy because of past experiences that you've been with. And it's really important to dig those up and to change the way that you look at things, change the way you look at people, to accept people for who they are. And we go through all of that with our energy and our healing, right? And then we go into boundaries, because boundaries are so, so important for us to learn in every aspect of your life. And it's really important to understand that you might have boundaries in a certain area like your career, but you might not have any boundaries in a relationship. And that is what I find very much with a lot of people that I work with, okay? Is that they are successful, or their marriage is good, but their success is horrible, or they are successful, but their relationships, they find all these men that want to take advantage of them and leave them heartbroken and all of that. And it's because you don't have these established. And again, it's the same thing with self-worth. Your self-worth might be good in business, but it might not be good in relationships. And there's multiple areas of your life that you have to, work with this around. So it's all about boundaries. So now you've got to create the boundaries, because why do we create the boundaries a little bit further into the process? It's because you now feel worthy of those boundaries. Where before, especially if you grew up with narcissistic parents, you weren't allowed to have boundaries. You weren't worthy of needing something. You weren't worthy of creating these boundaries, or even saying no to somebody. So then we grow up and years pass on, and then we wonder why these guys treat us like shit. Well, it's because we never established boundaries, because we don't think we're worthy of boundaries. If we're not worthy of boundaries, these guys are going to walk all over us, right? So it's creating those boundaries. And then what's really important is that you get into the spirituality of everything, where you start to have that spiritual awakening, or not even start, but it opens even more. Your third eye, your crown chakra, opening all of that even more, because it's important to connect to the divine energy. It's important to connect to your higher self. Think about this for a second. When I talk about the higher self, it's like, imagine that in 10 years from now, you have every single thing that you've been dreaming of. You have the house, the car, the family, the love, the money. If you knew that in 10 years you have that, wouldn't you want to it's like a teacher, right? It's like, I'm going to stay here for a second and then we'll go back. But if in 10 years you knew you were going to have that, wouldn't you want to dial into the mind of yourself in 10 years and say, hey, how the hell did we get here? Can you help me? Guide me. What do I need to do right now to get us there? What do I need to do, right? That's how you connect to your higher self. That's how you get the messages and the guidance from you that's already there, okay? And I know that's a little woo, but that's exactly how it happens. You have this sun, it's the fifth dimension, right? You've got this energy up here that knows everything what your life could be, okay? And I did a video in my group about free will. So you know what it could be, but we don't tap into it because we're so scared. Our ego is running our brains, and it's like, no, I got to make money. I got to pay the bills. I got to do this. I got to do that. But on the other side of it, if you can let go of that ego, if you can surrender to the universe and tap into your higher self is going to get you there much quicker. So what you could do is you could take that 10-year span and cut it down to 2. But you have to learn how to connect to yourself. You have to learn how to listen to your intuition. You have to learn to decipher your intuition and trust it. When you are constantly running with the ego, none of that is happening. So during this healing process, you really have to learn how to connect. And then you got to learn how to put it all together and realize that this is the foundation that you are going to use over and over and over and over again throughout your life, right? So the mentorship that I have 2 spots left, and that's exactly what we do through this process. We go through awareness. We go through the root of the issue. What's the limited belief that's coming up that's creating all this chaos, all this mess, all this pain, all this hurt? What is the limited belief? This awareness and the limited belief are like the major things that will change your life. But then you got to know how to reprogram them. You got to know how to release it. You got to know how to get to the other side of it and not believe that anymore. And then we go into the raising the vibe. We go into the boundaries. We do all of it. But the important part to realize here is that if you don't have a process and you're constantly just trying this and trying that and trying this, it's going to take you that 10 years to get there. But if you have a process, it is going to bring you there much quicker. And it's also going to give you the foundation for when anything comes up for you of how to deal with it. If somebody passes away on you, if you lose your job, if you get divorced or break up, you're going to have the foundation as to, okay, what are the steps that I need to deal with this? Every time I have a limited belief that comes up, I do the exact same process. Holy shit. Sorry. Holy crap. There is a limited belief that came up. Okay, where is it coming from? How do I reprogram this belief? What are my boundaries around it? How do I raise my vibration around this? What are my boundaries? How do I connect? And, I connect to spirit. So I'm like, spirit, let's do this, right? So it is learning those things that will get you to where you want to be. Without the process, it will take longer. I'm trying to think of an analogy right now. I can't think of one. I don't know. For some reason, they're bringing me swimming. But I'm not a swimmer. So I'm like, what are we talking about? I don't know. It's like, I don't know. You're going to have to give me a minute with this one. Andrew, what's going on? What are we talking about here? It's like learning. Okay, we're going to go with it. It's like learning to swim, but it's like going in the pool, right? That has 2 feet of water. And then going in the pool that has 4 feet, and then 8 feet, and then back to 2 feet, and then learning this stroke, and then learning that stroke, but not really learning it to its full capacity. And then, I don't know, this is what I'm getting. I don't know, Andrew, you're confusing me. But you keep trying everything, but you don't take the process of, okay, stay in one pool. Here we go. Stay in one pool and learn how to do the doggy paddle. Then you learn how to do, I'm not a swimmer, I don't know these strokes. I don't even know. I don't know. You learn this, I don't know. I can't even, I know there's whatever. You get what I'm saying. So you learn to doggy paddle, then you gain the strength there. Then you continue down the pool. You continue to do the laps, and then you keep doing the laps and doing the laps and doing the laps and building the strength around it. Rather than trying this and trying that and trying this and trying this, you don't really get anywhere because you don't build up the strength. You don't build up the endurance. You don't learn enough to say, okay, which stroke do I need here? I don't know. We're losing this swimming thing. Andrew, go back to football. I'm better with football. So anyway, so it's all about the process. So if you're sitting here and you feel lost and you feel hopeless, I just got off the phone with someone, and I never ever want anybody to feel like she felt. And it is so important that you learn the process. And the other thing that's really important is that you go through the process with someone that can hold you accountable, but also that speaks your language, and also that has been where you are. The speaking the language is really important. This is what this woman was just telling me. She's like, I've never had anyone explain it like that to me. Like, it makes complete sense now. And all of a sudden it's like, boom, the epiphany. And that epiphany changes everything. So find the mentors that you relate to. Find the mentors that speak your language that you understand. I'm in this coaching program. It's a good program, but listen, it takes a lot of my mental brain power to understand what she's saying. So I know I'm going to get a lot out of it, but at the same time, it takes me longer, and it's like a struggle, and it's like I really don't want to go in there and like listen to this thing that I'm going to have to go like, what is she talking about? I don't understand, you know, and this is a business thing. But so you've got to find the people that speak your language, that can relate things to you in a way that you understand. So, you know, I come from a CPA background, and that's what people would say to me. They're like, well, how come the CPA that I pay, you know, $300 an hour with couldn't explain it to me like that? And so you got to find the people that can say it to you in a way that you understand it and that it can help you. Okay. So I wanted to share this with you today. I do have 2 spots left for my mentorship. Tomorrow is the last day to sign up. So if you are feeling this way and you want to go through the process with somebody, and a lot of other ladies, which is awesome, that know how you feel, that understand what you're going through, that feel the exact same way, have the same mindset as you, and also have someone like me guide you through the next 8 weeks together with group calls, videos every single week, and also being able to reach out to me if you're going through something that you need my help with. I'm there for you in this mentorship. This mentorship is my process that I did going through my healing journey. So if you are interested in working with me for the next 8 weeks, I did just extend the payment plan for this. So if you had looked at it before, take another look at it. I should probably put the link here somewhere, maybe, so that you can see if it's more in a reasonable price range monthly for you. Okay, so because I want people to get the help that they need. Let's see if this works. There we go. So I want you to be able to get the healing. I want you to be able to feel empowered. I never want you to feel like you have nothing to live for. You have everything to live for. And if everything feels like it's falling apart at this moment and that life is crumbling down on you, this is the time to get this program. This is the time to get the healing that you need, because we look at things so wrong. I just had this really deep conversation with another group that I'm in last night, and we talked about being asleep while we're awake. And that's what our spiritual awakening is all about, right? We look at things saying that we're really awake right now, but many of us are still sleeping because we don't have our eyes open. We're not connecting to the divine. And now I just lost my train of thought what I was saying. Oh, but okay, this is what I'm saying. If everything is falling around you, you lost your job, you got a divorce, you broke up, the kids are moving out, whatever it is, when that is the universe giving you space and time. If you watch the self-sabotage challenge, which I have to take down, I have to do that. If you watch that challenge, it's about making space for you. Sometimes if you can't do it, the universe will step in and be like, listen, you're going way off your path here. We need to like clean this mess up and like start over. And so when everything is falling down around you, when you're having that tower moment, realize that it's not God punishing you. It's not the universe not supporting you. You have to change the way you think. It is the universe giving you space and time for the healing that you need. I'll give you an example. When everything happened the night that it happened in my marriage, 3 days later, that was during the weekend, 3 days later, I had to go in and actually, for the first time working with this one company, I had to do a course in front of 20 people, and like literally was bawling my eyes going to it. I wiped off my tears. I went in, I gave the course, I came back out, bawling my eyes out again, getting back in the car and driving like 2 hours home. But what I didn't realize at the time was that this company would allow me to work from home for the next 3 years. And in that moment where I felt like the universe was against me because everything was falling apart, it actually led me to the space to stay home and cry if I wanted to, or heal if I wanted to, or watch a video if I wanted to. And it gave me that space and it gave me that time. And then it pointed me in the right direction to the right people to get on board with, to then help me through the journey. So when everything feels like it's going wrong, it's really just the universe stepping in saying, that's not for you. That's not for you. Let's reset here and try something different. So I just hope you take that with you when things fall apart. And again, through this process that I teach you in the mentorship, the From Pain to Power mentorship, you're going to know how to do that every single time something like that strikes you, because it will. We're human. We live in a human world. Yet the more you can live in a spiritual mind in the human world, the easier it's going to be, and the quicker you're going to manifest, and the abundance that you're going to have, you're going to bring it a lot quicker. All right. So I hope that resonates. Let me check out the comments. I'm sorry. I can't, I lose my train of thought between spirit and the comments. I don't know. All right. Kim's here. Fran. Hello. Jennifer. Hello. Paula. Hi. Latrice. Hello. Leanne's here. Sandy's here. Melissa. What's up, girl? Melissa's coming to Costa Rica. So excited. So excited. It is just a few weeks away. If you're interested in spending the week with me and Melissa and Stephanie McVale from Being Love Shouldn't Hurt, we do have a few spots open on the Costa Rica trip. If you have any friends that would be interested in coming to Costa Rica, it is going to be an amazing trip. Again, nothing you can fathom. I can't even express to you the amount of change that you're going to see in the trip. The same with the mentorship. It's like we just can't get it across. It's not a tangible thing. It is something that it's funny because like if you tell people like, hey, sign up with me, you're going to make $10,000 a month. They'll be like, yes, I'm in. But if you tell people like, hey, sign up with me, you're going to change your life. Nobody grasps that. You really can't grasp it until you actually go through it. And then once you go through it, you're like, holy crap, I would have paid $1 million for that, because it's literally priceless. All right. So anyway, oh gosh, I got to go get my kids. Much love to all of you. I want you to have a wonderful weekend. And remember that I've got 2 spots left for the mentorship. We got a few spots left for the Costa Rica trip. Pick one, get on board, let spirit guide you. If you're feeling like I have to do that, get in touch with me. Let's figure out a way that you can do it. I'm willing to work with you guys because my main purpose for being here is to help you. And if I do that, like I'm living my life purpose. So any way I can get you there, I want to get you there. So if you're interested, PM me, we'll set up a call, we'll jump on a call and we'll figure out how we can work together to get you the healing and to move you along in your journey a lot quicker than you have been going for the past however many years. Okay. Yeah. Much love to all of you. Have a wonderful weekend. I will be getting the mid-months up. I finished them, so they will be coming up in YouTube. So you want to check that out. I will talk to you guys soon. Mwah! Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.